Yo, what's up, guys? Finally, the Ardon Jashari transfer saga is finally over, guys. He is joining AC Milan, guys, from Club Brugge for a package worth 39 million euros. Jashari's going to make 2.5 million euros in salary, guys, per year. Man, oh man, where can we start regarding this transfer saga? I think us Milan fans could all agree that we're finally glad that this bloody negotiation is over with Club Brugge. Over a month and a half of negotiating for this player since June, guys, that Milan have been talking to Brugge for this player. And one of the best players in the Belgian league last year, of course, guys. Obviously, Jashari was the MVP last year for Club Brugge. So obviously, it was understandable why Club Brugge valued the player so highly. But the way that these negotiations went, guys, I think we can all agree was absolutely pathetic. Besides both teams refusing to meet in the middle, finally, of course, meeting in the middle. But to start off, guys, both teams were being hard-headed, very frustrating to negotiate with. Obviously, Milan were offering way below what the valuation was of the player. Of course, obviously, Milan made a couple offers, of course. Obviously, nowhere near what Brugge wanted, of course. And obviously, Milan made a massive offer, of course, obviously 33.5 million euros, and then Brugge saying that it wasn't sufficient enough. But Ardon Jashari deserves most of the credit for why this transfer happened, guys. I think we all agreed that Jashari made it clear as day to Club Brugge he would not go anywhere else but wearing the colors of the red and black, guys. And you got to give this kid a lot of credit, refusing multiple offers, continuously getting offered to multiple teams. Of course, obviously Club Brugge tried to start an auction, of course, by offering his services to the Premier League. Of course, obviously multiple Premier League teams wanted the player, but he reiterated it to the club many, many times that this player wanted no other club other than AC Milan. And we are grateful that this player loves the colors of Milan, wanted to play for nobody else other than this club, guys. And he made it clear as day to Brugge's management. Obviously, this is what unlocked the deal. Obviously, having a meeting with Brugge's management yesterday, reiterating that he did not want to go anywhere else, refused to get called up, did not want to play for Club Brugge anymore. And the club had no choice but to agree to Milan's demands and agree to the sale to AC Milan. And now, obviously, this had remnants, obviously, due to what happened with Charles de Ketelaere a few years ago. Of course, Brugge had to sell him because he only wanted Milan. Of course, Brugge had to accept the offer that Milan had given them. And this was deja vu all over again with Ardon Jashari. Club Brugge did not want to sell this kid to Milan. They tried so hard to resist Milan. They tried so hard to prevent this deal from happening. But the will of the player made it clear as day that he wanted no other part of another club other than AC Milan. And I hope this is the last time that Milan deals with Club Brugge. We have given Club Brugge over 75 million euros in the last 3 summers, and they were being like this, acting unprofessionally, holding the player hostage, refusing to let him leave. You got their bloody captain running his mouth in preseason, saying, oh, maybe if Milan offer 40, that they'll get the player, of course. They were unprofessional at times, Brugge, even having negotiations with Inter, of course, for their player Stankovic. Inter tried hijacking the deal for Jashari, but Jashari once again said, no, I want to play for the better side of Milan, in AC Milan, of course. So this player here did everything in his power to come to the club, and now he is finally arriving to the club. I think us Milan fans are extremely happy, of course. It's a lot of money, of course, almost 40 million euros. The kid's going to have to prove himself, of course. Nobody's really seen him play, of course. He did play Milan in the Champions League when Milan played Brugge. He showed some good flashes there in that game there. Jashari had over 160-plus recoveries. Guys, I think it was 169 recoveries last year, plus 11 through balls. That's like a league high last year in the Belgian league. So this kid here has all the potential in the world. 23 years old, just turned 23 on July 30th. He is a bright, young talent, guys. The player to replace Tijani Reinders, of course. Milan used the money for Reinders to buy Jashari and Ricci. 60 million combined almost. It's great business by Milan to have one player in Reinders and put it into 2 strong players like Ricci and Jashari. Ricci's had a very positive preseason, of course, as we've seen in the games against Arsenal and Liverpool and Perth Glory. So Ricci's looking good. We're getting Jashari now. Modric and Santiago Jimenez have arrived at Milanello, of course, now. So things are looking very good, guys. But the fact that now we can just focus on the season. Obviously, some other transfer targets are available for Milan. Obviously, looking at guys like Vlahovic, of course, maybe Chiesa, this kid Atakami from Young Boys that Milan is looking at, of course, Zachary Atakami that Milan is close to agreeing a 10 million euro fee with, of course. So that deal should be getting done very closely. But now that Jashari is finally coming to Milan, guys, tell me how you guys feel about this player finally arriving to the club, guys. After a month and a half of negotiations, he is finally arriving. Like I reiterated before, I hope this is the last time I hear the name Club Brugge and Milan in negotiations, because this was an exhausting negotiation, I'm sure, for management, but even us fans every day wondering what the hell is going to happen with this player. Will he come? Will he not? But it was clear as day that this player wanted no part of playing for Club Brugge anymore, and he only had one dream on his mind, was playing for AC Milan. Obviously, he mentioned, of course, his dream when he went to see a game against Milan in Barcelona. Of course, you guys remember that game. I'll never forget that game. Kevin Prince Boateng with that back heel move, beating Victor Valdez. That was the game he remembered. I remember that game clear as day. Spectacular game that was. And he does too, clearly remembering that matchup, of course. And now he is about to fulfill his dream as an AC Milan player. Finally, we are getting this player, guys. It is beautiful to see. Milan's midfield is almost complete now. We just got to figure out what's going to happen with Yunus Musa. But other than that, guys, Milan got their midfield trio with Fofana and Loftus-Cheek and Bondo coming off the bench possibly. But Ricci, Jashari, and Modric, man, that sounds like a great midfield trio, guys. Milan's done some good work in the market, guys, but they're not moving quickly enough to sell some players. Hopefully they can do that sooner rather than later. Of course, get another striker in. Maybe sell some other guys. Maybe you sell Chukwueze. Maybe bring in a guy like Chiesa. Who knows? I think the Zachary Atakami kid's going to get done by this week, like I mentioned. So Milan's still moving in the market, guys. We play Bari in 2 weeks in the Coppa Italia game. The season's right around the corner. But finally, this saga is over and done with, guys. And I'm glad Jashari is fulfilling his dream of becoming an AC Milan player, guys. And Club Brugge, don't ever do this to us again. Holding a player hostage, knowing that the kid wanted no part of your club anymore, and you still tried to keep him at your club, which is absolutely ridiculous business, if you ask me. But finally, the team came to an agreement with the club, and the kid is coming, guys. Thanks to Ardon Jashari for pushing the move. His decisiveness was key into getting the deal done, guys, and now he is arriving. But, guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, like if you like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Forza Milan sempre, as always, guys. Remember, if you do not watch sports, you're more. Ciao, guys.